Let me regain my.
Episode 4, Linguica Bowl podcast. Another special guest, Goose.
Yes, sir. This is familiar foe.
Someone that's close to home. Is that true?
Yeah. I know him very well.
Not anymore.
That's right. He is far away now, deep in the West, and the leader of the West as well.
Oh yeah, keep the name, bro.
That's a nice segue.
You know what I'm saying?
Daulton, do you feel like you're the best team before we get into the games this week?
You mean like my lineup for this week, or just like overall, just my team?
Just in general, you think
just a scope? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I have the deepest team, bro. Like I don't know if I'd say the best yet, but like my lineup is just crazy. I think, bro. Like if you go to my bench, like even when it comes to waivers, like this week, bro, like I didn't give a shit about anybody. Like there's nobody I'm ever gonna drop. Like, you look at all the people on my bench, and even though they're kind of like some guys like Marvin Jones and like Brandon Cooks, maybe like they're solid players and like maybe they're not trade value. Like their trade value isn't crazy right now. Like I think it'll definitely be better. You know, like there's so many guys like that. Even OBJ, like Daryl Henderson, freaking Tyson. Like none of them I even have to play, but I mean, even my starting lineup is pretty good. So I'd say I'd definitely the deepest and one of the best for sure.
You didn't get anybody on the waivers either, right, Mata?
I got what's his name? No, I didn't get anybody. Yeah, I just put in Cordell Patterson. That was it. Yeah, I put one in for another guy, but I backed out before the end of the night.
We have 18 players.
Why'd you do that?
There's nobody.
Yeah, because I felt like people were gonna take him. I was gonna put on Rondale Moore, but I was like, nah, Quasi's honestly gonna take him. So
he went first, yeah. So he went first, and then Cordell went right after, right? And
yeah, Cordell was the other guy I wanted.
Yeah, I was trade me Rondell
already. Well, we'll get into the trade talks a little later, but week 2 was a big game. It was the Gas Pass game of the week, and you got a win over our co-host here, 134 to 103. What can you tell us about the game?
I mean, shit, I was bugging out after Thursday night. Like, I had Gibson and Logan, so they didn't really do too crazy. And Austin's team, like, after the first week, like, his lineup, I think his team is still one of the best, but he had a terrible week against me. But I knew to win, I kind of need a combo of Austin's team playing, like, on the average, like, projection and not as good, or, like, my team, the rest of my players just go off and, like, I mean, Derrick Henry kind of just saved my ass at like 5 o'clock, you know, like up to that point, I was like, shit, like, it was looking rough. Our game was close. Austin had Pat Mahomes that night. All I had was Justin Tucker, bro. I'm up 5 points. And then Derrick Henry against that run. And then I was kind of just straight after that, bro. I went up like 40 on Austin, like pretty quick. So it was chilling.
Gave you 47 points this weekend. You got another great game from Mike Williams, too.
Oh, yeah. The way my team's like constructed, it's like I got plenty of guys who have like a set floor, but I got a few guys who are like boom or bust. But even if they bust, like DK, for instance, like I feel like he's a boom or bust kind of guy. But if he busts, he gets you like 11 or 10. And same thing with Derrick Henry. Like he could easily get you 7 points in a week, but he also could, like what he just did, 47. So, I mean, I feel like my team, like if some guys shit the bed, there's always guys to kind of pick up the slack. So.
I think going back to the last episode, I even said when we were doing our recap that it'd probably come down to our flex spot, and it was honestly like the big.
Who's your flex?
My flex was Kareem Hunt. Oh, yeah. So you got 16 more points out of your flex spot. Obviously, Derrick Henry kind of.
Yeah. I mean, but Dak
kind of shakes everything up. Yeah.
So I mean, if you try to like equate it, like, I mean, it doesn't matter. Derrick Henry literally carried me last week, and.
Yeah. And the special team, like my defense and kicker getting 1 combined point, like that's what really killed me. The donut from my kicker is just disgusting.
That's what really killed you, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, Derrick Henry going for because at half, Daulton and I were talking about it, at halftime, Derrick Henry I think had single digits, and I was like, all right, this is manageable, like. Yeah, he had 7 or 8 or 9 points, and I'm like, all right, this is manageable. Like I'm down 20. I think I was down like 20 points or something like that, and I had Pat Mahomes left, and I was like, all right, it's nothing to worry about. And then that second half, man, that was brutal to watch.
Yeah, he did it on the ground, 182 yards, 3 touchdowns. And I'm sure you guys Daulton that he got 6 receptions for 55 yards. So
hell yeah, bro. Like
he's trying to catch the ball too.
Yeah, I mean, that was my biggest worry. Like that's why I wanted Gibson to be that type of guy. You know, I was like, shit, Derrick Henry probably isn't gonna really catch passes. Like you kind of want a running back that catches passes at least, you know, because
yeah,
they can be in the league where if they don't get touchdowns, they're just kind of mid. So I mean, that's definitely fire to see from Derrick.
Yeah, you took him 4th, right, Dylan? Right after me.
Yeah, I almost picked Zeke.
I was gonna say, yeah, because I was gonna say in a lot of drafts he didn't go.
He didn't
go top 5.
I mean,
he didn't even go some drafts. He didn't even go to top 5.
I just didn't. I mean, in my head, I always was gonna go Derrick, but then I can't lie. Like there was like, shit, I could go Zeke, but I think what stopped me was like, I probably was gonna go for Dak anyway, so I didn't really care. And like, Derrick Henry's just so like safe, you know. I mean, he's just disgusting, bro. Like he's just guaranteed to like do good. So
I think if we drafted again today, he'd probably go. You could make a case for him being top 3.
Well, if he's going to be catching 6 passes a game, then like
right,
he's probably right
nobody
behind McCaffrey.
Right, nobody predicted that.
The reason why I feel like he goes like a little lower than like Dalvin Cook and Alvin Kamara is just because he don't catch passes.
Right.
And you could say too with Tennessee, bro, the defense sucks. Like the defense
be losing.
So, like, yeah, people were like saying that was a bad thing, but maybe that's a good thing now because now we'll get more catches, bro. Like that's kind of how it looked against the Seahawks, bro. Like once they went down, he started going off. You'd think it'd be the other way, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the other running back doesn't really get much play either. I mean, they like hurry up, kind of like 2-minute offense. He was in there for a little bit, but
yeah, that was another thing with Zeke.
Towards the end of the game,
Pollard has more points than Zeke, I think. He's grubby.
Yeah, Pollard's pretty explosive out of the backfield too, and he be catching passes as well. So yeah, things are looking a little sketchy for Zeke, but I think he'll still be good.
Yeah, he'll still be nice. He's still a good ass running back, but
yeah. Speaking of the former number 1 pick, Christian McCaffrey went off for Suggs this week, but it wasn't enough. As Team Slowballs beat him by 4 this week in a crazy comeback on Monday night.
Yeah.
What'd you think about
hindsight, that was probably the game of the week. I mean, you couldn't have predicted that, but the way that went, holy shit.
Yeah. Crazy, bro. I mean, I feel bad for Suggs because his team is crazy. Like his team went off. He had finally like what he deserved, bro, from last year. Like I felt like he never had a game like that. And then now he like second week of the season, you know, play somebody where you drop 150 but you still lose. You know what I'm saying? Like just a bad scheduling thing. Not much to do, but I mean, we said it like, or you guys said on the podcast last week, and I agreed with you. Like, Sloan's team is too good to like drop 90 and not do something the next week. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
Shit. I mean, I play him this week, so hopefully, like, it's kind of like off now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
He comes back.
Yeah, Sloan got 34 from Rodgers, 31 from Locke, and then 27 from McLaurin. So he had a banging week on that, and then like
huge week.
Even his other pieces like Nick Chubb 16, Stephon Diggs 16, like
when you get double digits, all you can ask for really is double digits.
Yeah, you know. Diggs like 16, like all right, I'll take it. Whatever. Chubb 16, like I'll take it.
You expect more, but you can't complain.
Yeah, but when you got Tyler Lockett going for 31 and then McLaurin for 27, like
it doesn't.
It's enough. That's enough.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah, his team, right? Yeah.
Sloan winning makes it. I mean, it probably would have been better for us, for me and Austin. Like if Sloan loses,
lost, yeah.
Yeah, then our division. But I mean, shit. Like that kind of just shows everything we said about our division. You know what I'm saying? Like I always thought our division would be better from the names. Then after the draft, all of our teams, like Brett's team looked crazy. My team looks good. Austin's team looks good. Fucking. Sloan's team looks good, and then Chachi's just like
now after the trades, Chachi's team is pretty solid. Yeah.
Too, like you just got all good managers, bro. So it's like I don't know. I think 4 teams from the West is gonna happen, bro. Like it just keeps looking more and more that way, you know.
The way it's going so far, I might honestly, because he's got a little bit of dead weight, that's for sure. So.
Shit, you guys got Quaz and Andy who are both
0-2.
I mean, they can always you know what I'm saying? You can always dig your way out of the hole, but it's just like for right now, what are you gonna say? Like they're gonna make the playoffs? Like the teams you're gonna say that aren't. It's easily them two.
Something has to shake up.
Quasi's got to stop finessing. He's got to stop finessing something.
Yeah, something's got to shake up for them to
waiver wire or something like that. He's at that point, which is tough to come out of.
Because in their defense, I started off. Oh, my bad, Mata.
Nah, go ahead.
I was gonna say in their defense, last year I started off 0-2, and I finished the year 7-5, right? Or
yeah,
right?
facts. Yeah, you were 0-2 and
6.
So was I, bro. Yeah.
But you started off 0-2 as well.
I was 0-2. Yeah. There was people trying to fire Reed and stuff. I remember that.
Yeah, it's a little different this year though.
Wait, when did we play? Wait, you might have went 0-3, Mata.
Nah, no. I think I won, and then I was 1-3.
No, you lost to me.
Because I beat you, Mata, in week 3 or 4.
Let me look this up here.
Mata, you dropped 160. I dropped 163 in the first week.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I think you won.
We had
2 or 3 in a row.
We had a nail biter too, Mata. I beat you.
Nah, week 3 I beat Sloan. Because Mahomes went off on Monday night, and then you beat me week 4.
Then I beat you week 4. Okay.
By 7.
By 7? Yeah, I thought it was by 4 or 5. Honestly,
that was the day. Game. That was the day Devontae Adams they didn't know if he was going to play on a Monday night, and he didn't end up playing, so I had to start MVS.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it was a Monday night, so I had to wait till Monday night.
Yeah. I hate those types of games.
Yeah, that's what happened with Sloan.
Yeah.
On the very last drive.
Another guy that won on Monday night was Chachi this week. Beat Bibby thanks to a big Aaron Jones performance.
Yeah.
Didn't have to be that big, but dropped 40 for him.
And talking about if we were to draft now, where do you think Aaron Jones would go?
I mean thing is,
above Zeke.
I know it's just 2 weeks, and his first performance wasn't spectacular. He put up 3 points. It was abysmal, but that's just the type of player. Those players you draft in the top 10.
His matchup was fire against the Lions, so it's
yeah, that too.
He's what he always was. Aaron Jones can always go for 7 or 40.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Zeke.
That's all he does. It's all 3 of those.
Yeah, same thing with Zeke and all those players in that end of first, middle of first, end of first round. I'll have that upside.
Definitely would be round 5. You know what I'm saying? You would have dropped a lot.
Yeah, maybe not round 5. Maybe forcing a little bit.
3 or 4 type shit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, probably end of second.
That's weird. But Mata, me and you, only undefeated teams.
Only 0-2 teams. Yeah, let's go over to that game. I beat Andy. 141-105.
Yeah, that was
it was a walk in the park.
Yeah.
It was looking sketchy after the 1 p.m. games because Buffalo D dropped 21. Al Robinson only gave me 10. Mixon and Drake shit the bed. But then Brady comes on 425 and just fucking smacks the fucking Falcons. So
5 tuds, right?
5. And he could have had more too.
No signs of. That's what I'm saying.
There was a
he missed Mike Evans.
Zone. Yeah, he missed Mike Evans too.
In the corner of the end zone, first drive of the game. And then following play, I think, was to Gronk. But yeah. Well, so he couldn't have. But yeah, the fumble in the red zone, yeah. And they ran it back, right?
Yeah, they ran one back too.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, me and Mata kind of got lucky so far. Our matchups have been pretty mid, both times.
Yeah, I definitely can't.
We're still putting up 140 each week, I mean, it's not like we don't deserve it, but could easily be 1-1, 0-2.
I've been enjoying the stress-free weeks though, so I'm not gonna complain.
It feels nice, bro. You look at the other team, you see their matchups; they're not too bad. You don't have to make a trade if you don't want to.
Yeah.
You can kind of just ride with your team because they're pretty good, and then kind of chilling,
Yeah, I mean,
I play you next week though, not this week. I play you next week, so
Yeah, dude. That's gonna be a big game.
It's only gonna be one at the.
One of them has to lose.
You know?
Hopefully, we both win this week, so we can be 2-3-0 teams going into week 4.
And we're in different divisions, so I don't really give a fuck. You know.
Exactly. So
whatever.
the last game of the slate was the Friendskins beating the Devils 123-108. Another tough week for Quasi. I hate to be harsh, but
this doesn't look. It's tough to watch,
bro. Not really a standout performance. Even on his bench, like his best play was Tim Patrick with 12.
He's just got like a tough situation. Like he's in a hole he's got to dig out of, and it's very deep.
Like, yeah, if he had not
fall with the injuries, but like
yeah, he just kept digging a hole for himself though. I think with all those trades, I'm not sure. Like I can't speak for anyone, and I don't know what they're thinking at the time when they make the trades, but definitely some questionable moves. Not even the Najee Harris one, but the one he made last week.
If your team isn't looking good, like you feel that urgency to trade, like because you gotta get wins, and you don't know like.
Yeah, it's pressure. You get the pressure.
Like
you feel the pressure from everybody else in the league.
Yeah, I can say for you. I mean, Bibby's team's pretty deep. Sloan's team's pretty deep. Like, you don't have to like make a trade you don't like. And Mata, I mean, you got good talent, and like you're fine. So it's like you don't have to make a trade you don't like right now, but because you can win with your lineup right away, you can let guys on your bench like, get better and better, like show their value. So you can kind of sit on it. Where other guys, they have to trade right now because it's like, bro, I'm 0-2, 0-1. My team sucks. This and that.
Yeah. Like I look at Andy too, Andy's 0-2. Like he's obviously in a little better shape than Quasi, but like he looks at Michael Thomas on IR, he's probably gonna have to think about like, damn, I might have to cash in on this guy sooner rather than later to get someone that can produce right now.
Wow, I didn't even think about that because he hasn't really brought him up. I don't know. I mean, you would know more than I would if have you talked to him about trades and stuff.
I've heard there's a couple of people interested in him.
So, in Michael Thomas?
Michael Thomas, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
I mean, it'd probably be like there's only a couple. Like you and Daulton don't have a loss. I mean, everybody's like 1-1. So
yeah. But yeah, I mean,
even at that, like
whoever thinks they can afford to do that.
One game from making like one game behind. You know what I'm saying?
What's
like,
that? What did you say?
If they come in second place, only one game behind. You know what I'm saying? If you
come
second place in your division, you make playoffs. So who's second place? It's Sugar.
Sugar, yeah, and Quentin.
Sugar and Quentin.
Yeah, your division mod is very top heavy. I'll say like this is 2 weeks in a row consecutive that you and Shugs put up over 140. Like plus one, right? Because last week you took out your kicker, but
last week I took out my kicker, but
right. Had you had played your kicker, you would have scored 140, and Shugs had a monster week. So, I mean, just that alone, and then Quentin's like right in the Middle East, and that's where I see him for the most part. Like his team, it just takes his team having like a really solid week. Once Saquon starts to come back, Tyreek's not going to put up 5 points. So his team's gonna be pretty good.
Bro, there's a lot of good teams, and there still really is like a lot of teams that at any time can win it.
Yeah, but Quentin's team, like he's yet to see a good performance from Josh Allen, and he's putting up well over 100 points. So
Tyreek can always drop like 35.
Exactly, and Saquon. We're just waiting on Josh Allen and Saquon, so it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, hopefully Saquon can show out for him this week with 10 days rest and stuff.
Yeah, especially where
to start him this week.
Yeah, where he drafted him, like it's got to be the urgency's got to be there. I'm assuming. But yeah.
Speaking of
a lot of trade talks.
Speaking of Shugs, there's been a lot of controversy about how he does his business. He has his coaching staff there. Yeah. What's your thoughts on the whole situation, Daulton?
I mean, I feel like it's kind of a joke with Sugar for the most part. Like, no, I'm saying though, like us making fun of him and shit. It also is
like blowing it out of proportion.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also true. I mean, the kid literally had no idea what he was doing at the draft. Like, I talked to Bird, and he literally said, like, bro, from like pick, like I think he said after Cooper Cup, like 6 or 7, one of those picks, like middle of
Yeah, 5,
six,
6,
five,
7.
6 or 7. He was like, all those picks were me. Like, and I'm not trying to like be an ass, but I get it because
Put
Sugar
Shugs
doesn't
on
know like
blast.
the guys. Yeah, like Sugar knew like what guys he's gonna get. You can expect it. Like Keenan Allen, you could expect he wants to go for Amari Cooper, Justin Jefferson, Cooper Cup, like guys like that. Like I can see Sugar like, yo, that was me. But I mean, all those bench guys and shit. Like I felt like he talked to Bird and then got an idea who he wants, but then decided like, all right, I'm gonna go with this guy because I like him more. But I mean, at this point too, his team is just so crazy with the starting lineup in the first pick. So I mean, it's not like he has a coach telling him who to play. But this week has been sketchy with the trades. So it's like, why does he want to make a trade after that loss? Like your team put up 150, put up 180 the first week. Like I don't know.
I wouldn't even play. That's what I'm saying. It's like, why even play with that?
Yeah, the offers that he's offering for certain players that I'm hearing is just like he's throwing way too much for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like he's clearly like losing on one side of the trade when he has no need to. I really don't get that.
And he's setting himself up for failure. Like he's just setting himself up to make a bad trade because like no, those guys' value is just like it's it's unattainable for you to try and trade for like his guys because they went off. So Shugs is just like, oh, these guys are worth fucking $1 million. Like these guys like prized possession. Like you got to give me your best player. Like that's not how trades work. Like half the time, like in order for both sides to kind of gain value or gain something from the trade.
His trade setups make no sense, but doesn't matter. His team's fine right now. But why? What do you think, Mata? Do you think like it's really that big of a deal, the whole like coaching situation? Like
Nah, I don't think it's a big deal, the coaching situation. But I think he's
touchy subject for Mata considering
they're hitting up other people about
conflicting.
Well, no, I hit up Reed. Reed's my head coach. I obviously got to know who the head coach wants.
But Mata's got a couple of people on payroll.
Shig's got to hit up 8 people, and I just think like I feel like at a certain point you got to make decisions for yourself. Like I have no problem with you asking Bird, like, "Yo, what do you think about this trade?" When you're like deep in the negotiations. Yeah. But like, you hit the kid up for somebody who's just like, "Who you gonna offer me?" Like, you want to know who I'm gonna offer you, so you can go hit up Bird with the trade. Like, fuck that, bro.
It's too meticulous. Make a trade yourself. Everything's like planned out. It's like, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Bro, everybody knows like what kind of value makes sense. It's just like the negotiations at the end of the day. It's like you find out, does the person even want to make the trade? Do they even like the guy? Like, or is the value just never gonna be there? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm trading for like a player from you, model, like I know like what kind of value makes sense for you. So I'm not gonna hit you with some stupid shit. Like I'm not gonna waste your time. Like you always kind of know where to go with. But I mean, when it comes to asking other people, I feel like once you have the trade like ready to go, or like pretty close, and then you ask somebody else, like that's not that bad. But like to make trades with another person, that's when it's like, all right, bro, like think about it yourself.
Yeah, they can't. I'm just not a fan of that. I'm just not a fan of that from Shugs.
Yeah, especially you can't be hitting up everybody and their mother.
Like I look at Chachi, always gets the deal done, you know, and I feel like he's probably the only one in the league that consistently can get a deal done.
Yeah. True. I mean, he has both sides. The team either has so many guys that he can just make trades and it doesn't matter. Like, just keep making trades. His team doesn't really change that much. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's got so much value. Or like at the start of this year, I felt like his team was just so like thin. So he had to make mad trades and he just went to Eric. Eric is usually one who always likes to trade.
Pounce on the weak. He pounced on the week.
Literally, like, sucked the life out of Eric's team, bro. On top of the injuries, bro. Grab his best players. Like, Najee's good, but, like, Travis, like, I don't know. I'm thinking of the price that, like, Travis Kelce's going for now versus 2 weeks ago, like, that Eric made. And it's, like, definitely feels tough, like, what he could have got. I don't know.
Yeah, and Quasi gave up Debo, who went off in the first week.
Yep.
Oh, my God, that's right.
So and he got crazy. Back Mike Gesicki, who dropped a goose egg in week 1.
He dropped Mike Gesicki.
And he just dropped Mike Gesicki. It's just a bad trade all around, you know.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
you
that's
think
what I'm
about what
saying.
Andy did, right? He gets Kelsey and Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson, like, he's not exciting, but like he could be a flex play one week, you know, like.
Yeah.
But it's really Kelsey, and he gave up D Hop and Kyle Pitts, so it's like you're giving away like a really like solid top 5 receiver for Kelsey, and then you're adding in Pitts, who's like, oh, he could be like top 5 tight end, like solid lock him. Like that's kind of what he is, honestly. That's how I feel about him. So I mean, that trade definitely made more sense to me, but
yeah, but I look at that trade too, even with Andy and Chachi, and I think that Chachi, got a slight downgrade in tight end, like how slight it's going to be. I think Kyle Pitts will be like top 6 tight end.
Yeah.
But I think he got a huge upgrade at wide receiver.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he just got Kyle Pitts so he could trade him, and then that's immediately what he did.
And he got another wide receiver from Quasi. He's a really smart. He's a smart GM, man. He's a smart GM.
Yeah, you can see it. You can see the trend. But he had the ability to do that. He had the luxury to do that. So with the trade that he made with Quasi, and I don't know. I mean, any one of us could have as well. Like we all 3 of us had pretty good depth.
Bro. It's different. I feel
but
like
Quasi didn't come to us the way he can't like talk to Chachi. I feel like I don't know why. I don't know why, but
this is the thing though. That's what I was gonna say. I feel like my team, your team, like the deep teams right now, and the teams that are doing well. When people come to us for trades, bro, like they see like how much depth we have. They see how good our team is. So when they make a trade, like every trade I feel like I'm getting right now, it's like I'm giving up more than the other person clearly, or like just a bit. Like it's always like I'm kind of like the one who you got to pull, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, oh, you got so many good guys. Like, why not just give this guy to me for free? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like a rich person, and it's just like, oh, you got all this money, bro. Just help me out.
Tax the rich.
I like that comparison. I like that comparison.
I just had bums on my bench, bro. People are like, all right, this is fair, like 2 for 2, like this and that. They see all the other guys. It's like, oh, nah, I gotta get these guys and this guy just for my best player. It's like, bro, like, sorry that you have like 2 good players, bro, but I'm not gonna give you like fucking 5 like solid players. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And ultimately, if they have somebody that they fall in love with, and he's on, say, Andy's team or something, Chachi, whatever the case may be, like, you're just not gonna get hit up for the trade because they're going after a specific person. So
yeah,
it's also that too. You could take that into account.
Yeah, it's early in the season.
Quasi was big on all those guys he went after. So
yeah, it's early in the season. I got plenty of guys who like I think over the season will just go up in value like they already have, like Mike Williams, fucking Brandon Cooks, Marvin Jones Jr. These are guys, Darrell Henderson.
Like, and not the sexiest because of like
not sexy right now, but like
they're solid. That's
any questions you
have. Mike Williams is so.
Oh yeah, Mike Williams I feel like is probably the best of those players. Like people would probably like how they view him. They're the most confident in. Like I can get
he has the most potential.
I can get people looking at Brandon Cooks, like those guys, and just be like, not yet. I don't want to go in. Like I wouldn't go in for Sterling Shepard or Deebo Samuel. You know what I'm saying? Even though they both have been grubbing, like they're I think both top 10.
Yeah, Marquise Brown is another one who you like.
Where it's just like, yeah, he looks good. He'll probably be good, but it's like it doesn't feel good to like trade away your best player for him and like another decent guy. So I get that.
Dalton, do you think a lot of the apprehension towards trading in this league is due to like the aftermath in the group chat, just getting like roasted potentially?
How it'll be perceived?
Yeah.
Because I really think that influences a lot of GMs.
It really does, because you never want to have a trade. Like that's the biggest thing. Like when you're about to make the trade, the first thing you think of is like, how do I get fucked in the ass here? Like what goes wrong? Like you're trying to like manage it so you never get fully screwed over, which is like you're just kind of shooting yourself in the foot when you think about that. Like you kind of have to have like a methodology.
That mentality.
Yeah, like what trades make sense? Like what do I need to do? Like when does it make sense to go a little overboard for a guy? Like when does it make sense to just like hold off? And I definitely feel like one, being roasted and shit for making a terrible trade and it doesn't look good. is a big thing. And then there's just other things that always make sense. Like maybe you just don't love the guy and you're convinced he's not going to be that good, or maybe you really just love a player on your team. And there's just there's multiple things, but that for sure is like probably the biggest one.
Right. And that's what I was saying, basically, like how much you like the guy. Like, because at the end of the day, it really comes down to like your confidence. Like, that's basically everything. When making a trade, who you're going to play, like who you like, who you don't like, it's all confidence. Like, how much confidence you have in the player or how much confidence you have in yourself in making a certain decision. So,
The biggest thing, it's like, if this guy's on my team, right? Like, am I gonna start him? Like, if I trade this guy to this person's team, like, are they ever gonna put him in their lineup and feel like confident about it? Because that's usually when it's like, nah, I get that the value's there and it makes sense, but am I really ever gonna play this guy on the right week? Like Rondell Moore, for example, like there's so many wide receivers.
right, you don't feel confident in playing him.
Yeah, you never know when to.
Once the bye weeks hit, you can justify it a little more. Like, all right, like I got this guy on a bye, so I'll get this guy. He gets an easy matchup that week. But early on in the season, that doesn't really come into play much.
Right, you got to see some consistency.
There's been a lot of chatter about yourself, Daulton, and you seem a little indecisive. I'd say you and Quinn, the two twins. I will say,
Bro,
I'm a little indecisive making trades in general.
Make your point right now, and then I'll.
No, I'm just saying. A lot of talk for the lead. Like Quentin last year, never.
Is this a personal gripe? Is this a personal gripe you have?
I'm just asking. I gotta ask the tough questions.
This is my thing, right? Like I got a lot of people hitting me up for trades. Like I got a lot of players people want to trade for. Nobody really is giving me shit for all the guys on my bench who I really want to trade. Like I really would like to trade a guy on my bench and one of my starters for like a nasty starter, like a good player, something that makes sense. Our trade that we were trying to work out with Ridley, like I was like, okay, yeah, but I don't know, man. I'm talking to you and like I'm doing schoolwork and shit. I need to focus. Like I have something due at 12 and like you're hitting me up and I'm just being lazy with the talk. Like I never meant to. I felt like I kind of what's the word? I kind of psyched you out with what I said in the text.
Yeah. You ghosted me.
I mean, I feel like running backs, bro. Like,
you ghosted me.
When you trade a running back, bro, like you need to get like solid value because there's only so many guys that are like the top 20, you know, like good running backs. So I'm just hesitant.
They hold weight. The running backs hold weight right now.
Yeah, and I only got 4, like, and all 4 of them are solid. Like, you don't feel terrible about starting them. But what really fucked up our trade model was I had an assignment due at 12, and I had like 4 hours left, and you hit me up at 8, and I was like screaming. I was like, bro, I can't even look at my phone and talk to you. Like, I need to just finish this. So I just didn't even answer you. So that was my bad.
But yeah, but I wouldn't just say it's about last night. We had Quasi on here, and he made the same point. Everybody loves making trades. You're very easy to talk to. You're very easy to negotiate. I know exactly what you want. You know exactly what I want. But the deal never gets done.
Never gets done. Yeah. I mean, shit. The last 2 weeks, I just try to find the price. I'm trying to gauge like what you guys think on a person, and until that price is met, then I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just wait. It has nothing to do with the other person's offer. Like I get it, but I know if I wait out like a week or 2, I can get even more. Like I don't know. It'll probably bite me in the ass. Like I could have got Kelsey from Quas for Gibson, bro. Like basically straight up. Oh my god, that would have been so tough. But I mean, that will happen. There's other trades that if I took, bro, like I could have got Kittle for Thielen and Brandon Cooks, and Logan Thomas. And right now that like Logan Thomas has been better than Kittle. Like I'm sure Kittle will be better, but like there's some trades that if I made, I kind of be a little fucked. So
there seems to be a little disturbance in the background there. At your apartment, Daulton. Did you care to show the people who that is?
You can't see him. He's in his room, but hold on, I'll mute.
A little special guest, another special guest.
Was that Bob Dylan?
Guest appearance.
Yeah. Fucking shred in the back.
You're talking shit.
I think it's a fair criticism. Like, I definitely have been pretty indecisive. Last year, I made more trades. I was more willing to, but I had pressures. Like, I was 1-2. Then I was 3-5. Like I was 3-3 going into like bye weeks. My division was closed. Like I needed to make trades. I definitely should still make trades, but like heads are just not giving me fucking anything. Like, I mean,
worthy.
Yeah, our trade was pretty fair, Mod. I'll say, like straight up, like Ridley for those two, like that was pretty fair. But
Be indecisive. Be indecisive.
to have 3 running backs right now, bro. There's 14 weeks left in the season, bro. There's so many, like, so much shit could go wrong. Like that's why, like, it's so early. Like, just keep the depth. You know, that's how I look at it. You don't want to just have your starting lineup OD at week 2, but your bench sucks, and then by week 5, like your bench still sucks, but now your starting lineup you had 2 injuries, so it's like you kind of just fucked yourself over, bro. For what? Just keep the depth as long as you can.
Yeah, and you were talking shit, Mata, about Quinn, which I mean, it's warranted given like what happened last year and his lack of trades and stuff. But you just made a trade with him last week, if I'm
Yeah, but that's a
not
minor.
mistaken.
That's a minor. It's a little bench
I
trade.
understand
It was a great trade.
I understand it was a minor trade, yeah, but I mean, you got that was like, I don't know if you had other trades that you were like trying to cook up with him, but
no, that was completely out of the blue. Hit me up, and I thought it was a pretty fair trade. I just switched out for a different wide receiver. I got Jalen Reagor instead, and boom, that was it.
Yeah,
all done and dusted.
Two Eagles.
But I'd like to see this year with Quentin when the time comes when he really needs to make a trade. If he's on the cusp of the playoffs or he's trying to avoid last place, I want to see if he ends up making that deal or not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see that. I mean, you could make the argument that someone's got to make a trade. I don't see the need for him to make a trade right now. But
bro, there's never a need, but like it doesn't.
Yeah, it's early. It's early.
Trade, but I mean,
right, it's just kind of
getting the job done. If the trade you don't love, like I mean, there's a trade right now with Andy that like would have been done this morning, but I guess he's like just holding more offers. Like he wanted to talk to Bibby, and I know Bibby couldn't talk till like right now, so I haven't really heard from Andy. But like I gave him a price, and like if he holds true to that, like we're set. So I might have a trade done, but I don't know. I definitely think it's a fair criticism of me to be indecisive, but like, can you blame me if I'm 2-0 with all these guys, like, and they just keep getting better each week? So it's like,
I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying you have a history. You have a history. So just wanted to kind of bring it up.
Last year, bro.
Is that the thing with Quentin too?
Yeah. Daulton and Quentin, they're both together at UMass. They're both indecisive, both twins. So thought maybe there was something there. I don't want you to speak on Quentin's behalf.
How many trades did you make last year, bro, or even this year? Like trades.
How many trades?
Yeah, like how can you say I'm indecisive?
He's putting Mata on the spot.
Let's see how many trades I made last year.
The general public doesn't know that Mata has some little beef with Quentin and Daulton because of last year.
I have absolutely no beef.
Has some petty beef.
With Quentin, I do have beef. With Quentin, I do have beef.
Well, you were in the process of making a trade with Daulton. That was a pretty big blockbuster trade too.
We didn't do it because shit, I would have fucked you over, bro.
I made
Josh Jacobs.
I made 7 trades last year.
I think I made 6. I made like 4 with Chach. I made 1 with Sugar. It was Corey Davis for Young Hoku. And then I made like 1 more, like little one with somebody else.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, you made 4, and Quentin made 3, the lowest in the league.
Yep.
So.
True.
Speaking of you and Quentin, I wanted to ask you this. Last year, you guys were obviously home, so you see everybody from fantasy more. How is it different playing fantasy at UMass compared to when you're at home?
So. Sophomore year was the first year, and it was different because it's like everybody's talking in the chat. That's the only way I get to like talk with you guys, or like if I come home for that weekend or whatever. So it's different. It kind of sucks, but it's also dope. Like I watch it with mad kids at school and shit. That's how I did sophomore year. Now we have this crib and we have the TV, so I just on Sundays watch the games, and me and Quentin, same type of shit. We're just watching the chat. It's definitely better when I'm at home though, like watching the game in terms of just the league. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like being able to watch it with all you guys and shit. Like it's more fun to like shit talk and shit. Or like we'll have a game like Sunday, right? Thursday night just happened. It's Friday night, and me, you, and Andy and Austin will go on an Elrod and then talk about like the weekend. Like we did that all during the playoffs and like the end of the season. So that's definitely dope because you're all like, that's how you can make trades. Like you can talk, you can get a feel of the
Sweet talk.
Yeah, it's not just trying to trade talk with somebody over the phone, like texting. It's different, you know. It's not really the same. But
Yeah, it brings a different. It's a whole different atmosphere and like a different. Brings a different like competitiveness, like because through text you're just like I don't know, and then when you're in person you're like you're trying to gain an edge or like get a one up on somebody.
There's cheeky ways you can do it in person that you can't do over text.
Yeah, and the shit talking. That's what I'm saying. The competitiveness in person.
Too. I mean, Sugar's away at school too. I've watched games at Sugar's. It was the same type of shit, you know. Whoever you're with, you're kind of talking about the games with, and then you're looking at the chat, seeing what people are saying and shit. It's a different vibe.
Do you prefer better at when you're at home? You said, right?
In terms of the league, like just strictly the league, yeah, I would say so. But I mean, I'm just watching the games at my crib for the most part at home. I just get to see you guys like a day after, you know what I'm saying? In person.
Yeah. I feel that. Speaking of everybody at home, there's been some talks that our old pal Zach Nunes might be back in the league. But he recently made comments this week that he would not join a 12-man Linguica league. How do you feel about that?
He's a good man for that. He's a good man. I respect it.
I think that's the consensus around the league, honestly. Or those that would suit be potential fit for the league.
I mean, there's some managers who like could leave, bro. Like not because they suck, not because any other reason than they just got too much shit to do, you know? And then they might not want to like they might leave the league. So if somebody leaves, Nunes is instantly back. If nobody seems to leave though, I'd love like
yeah, you just gotta have first dibs.
Yeah, I'd love to see somebody like do a combo like with you and Reed. Maybe Nunes is that with somebody. I'd be open to that. Especially.
What do you mean do a combo? Oh, get Nunes in as a co-manager
for one team. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying split up Mata and Reed coaching tree.
Make
Reed a manager and then make Nunes a manager. If we did the 12 team, but I wouldn't. Obviously, it's not. Yeah, I mean, it's up for discussion, but
it's just not as dope. It's not as competitive. Like 12 man, there's always 4 teams that are awful.
Yeah,
they don't try after a few weeks. There's like 2 teams that are just so nasty for some reason. 10 man, there's always last year we had 8 teams that could have made the playoffs with a week left. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's not as even.
The commish has stated that he is interested in expanding to 12, but he's got a lot of pushback on it. So I'll be curious to see how he handles that. Yeah, I've heard that he would be down to move to a 12-man league, but as we had Bibby on last week, he's not about it. Daulton, you're not about it. No, a couple other people.
2 weeks into the season, Fab, what do you think?
Wow, what a segue. I was just about to bring it up.
Yeah,
because Bibby didn't want it in this league, and I don't think he voted for it in the other league either. Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, he's a little conservative.
I was just gonna say, 2 weeks into the season, how much different is this league with Fab or without Fab? Realistically.
Well,
with Fab,
I mean,
you could have Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah, and with Fab, Daulton, you wouldn't have Tyson Williams. Shugs wouldn't have Sterling Shepard.
But like, this is the thing. Like, is that really that big of a deal? Like, Quasi
potentially could be
7. Sugar hasn't even played Sterling Shepard. Like,
I know, but I mean, he's trying to trade him. You're trying to use it. You're trying to trade like certain players that you just picked up. Like, I don't know, everybody.
I mean, how would that even have worked though? When I picked up Tyson Williams, the season didn't even start. Like, I just picked him up.
But the waivers started the week prior to week 1 starting.
Okay.
Like,
so
that Tuesday before the first week, I'm pretty sure waivers started, right, Mata?
Yeah, there's like waivers throughout the offseason. Like I remember I tried to pick up a couple guys and I was like, oh shit, like they're waivers. I have to wait.
Yeah, right. You had
So
to clear the waivers. So
All I'm trying to say is, I still don't really care to change Fab because I don't think waivers is that big of a deal. Like it really doesn't. It definitely changes the outcome, but like this year, there's no COVID. There's no guys like the injuries haven't been the same as last year, so it's not guys coming in and out, in and out.
knock on wood.
So far, bro. Like we have 18 guys on everything.
Well, it's still COVID, but
yeah, but it's not the same. It's not like
it's not
2 weeks and then he's never the
not
same.
as prevalent. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also too the fact that it's just everybody has 18 players. Like you look at the worst teams and look at their bench, bro, and look at some of the players they have. It's just gross. Like the guys you're picking for, you know what I'm saying? So if you look at waivers, it's even more dry. Like other than defenses, there's been no like big impact player. Like there's good value guys like to have on your bench for a bye week, but there has yet to be a Justin Jefferson. It seems like.
Yeah.
I feel like they're all accounted for.
While we're on the topic of waivers, last night, Shugs picked up 2 quarterbacks consecutively in the waivers. So he had those 2 quarterbacks on his waiver, like the waiver order, whatever you want to call it. Like I don't know. What?
Who's this quarterback?
He is Russell Wilson. Well, that's the thing with like Fab and no Fab. Like, why the hell are you picking up 2 quarterbacks? And like, if we had Fab, you wouldn't do shit like you wouldn't be able to do shit like that. So like, we were trying to implement a position limit, and we were trying to do a roster cut. And I didn't really care about the position limit so much, only on certain positions. But the roster, like limiting the roster, would limit shit like that too. I mean, Fab more so than that, but. Yeah, I mean, I looked at that and I just started geeking. Like, what? Like, it's week 3 now. Like, it's only week 3, bro. Like, and we're already picking up 3 quarterbacks. Like, what's going on here?
I hate that. That shit's so annoying. I mean, you look at Sugar. You change the roster size, then Fab becomes more prevalent. You know, because the waiver is more prevalent. There's more guys on the waiver that are worth picking up.
Right.
definitely.
You're saying there'd be more of a need for Fab if we cut down the roster.
I like how we're at right now. Like 18 guys is a lot. Like everybody has good depth. Like there's less of a chance. Like Quasi got really fucked because the more guys you have on your team, like the more injuries that happen on your team, the more guys you have to combat the injuries. I mean, Quasi just got like 5 injuries, so it's like, how are you gonna deal with that in a week's time? Like that's just too much.
Right. He just sustained another pretty big injury. Well, we don't know the extent of the injury, but Deontay Johnson.
Yeah.
His knee injury. I mean, he just traded for Deontay.
But even in Quasi's case, like with the waivers, like yeah, he actually gets first pick, so he got Rondale Moore, but he also wanted Patterson, and he had pretty much no shot. Like he gets 1 pick, and then like whoever's left over is eventually who he gets. Yeah, same thing.
Why? So with Fab,
I get that it's Cordell Patterson, Daulton, but you know, maybe next week it might be a guy who's like really nasty, or like 2 or 3 dudes that are really nasty, and like Quasi.
Or you could trade him, or you could use him for a
has
trade.
to only pick one. Can only pick one, pretty much.
Yeah, though, bro. Look at his team. Like he needs those guys. He should have first pick. Like I get it. I get it. Where it's like that's not your philosophy. You don't believe that just because you're the worst team, you get first dibs. All I'm just trying to say is that he's getting first dibs at like bench guys who could maybe become a starter. So it's like, and it's not that big of a deal to me. That's why I don't care to change it. I don't think it's like gonna change who makes playoffs, like this and that. It just helps a team that is dry just have more value to trade off of and like a chance to get back into it and be better. Because heads are throwing $150. Like if you get fucked with injuries, like you should have something that like helps you out, you know.
I see that. If we did have Fab Money and because you were saying like Quasi would be able to get 2 guys if he bid the most on them, right? That's
like
right. Okay.
At least he has a shot, you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I get that.
You know,
usually the top 2 guys, it's those are the ones that matter the most in the waivers.
Yeah.
So,
but like, let's say you know, one of like me or Shooks or Dalton's like nasty players get hurt this week, God forbid. You know, we have no shot on waivers. We're at the top.
it's gonna happen.
I
see no way this guy loses.
Davante Adams, like, I don't even want to say. I get.
Mystic Water.
But you get what I'm saying, though. Like, if one of us gets fucked, then we have no shot on the waivers because Quasi will get him, Andy will get him, whoever's 1 and 2 will get him.
That's fair.
Yeah, I see that. I just I want to get the thought process behind picking up 2 QBs because from my standpoint, like from my point of view, I see that and I'm like, oh, Suggs is just like, oh, I gotta fucking pick somebody up, like anybody. I'll just pick up anybody, and the quarterbacks there are really good, like on the waiver. So like, let me just pick up 2 of them so I can kind of try to screw somebody one week when the buys start coming along.
Bro,
I don't know. This is alleged. This is from my mouth. I don't know what Suggs would say, but I'd like to hear it.
And he dropped like 4 players, bro. Like he's got like 6 open bench spots. Like for what? Like he's doing the quasi. Like he's just panicking, bro. After his team just spazzed, but like he just had a bad matchup. He wants to trade away Amari Cooper, Justin Jefferson, like all these guys, bro. Like I just.
Yeah.
You think maybe it's like, he sees like, all right, I have a nasty team. Maybe I could get even better, kind of selling high on some of his guys.
True. I think
that
is never a bad time to trade.
So I don't know.
Awesome.
What'd you say? There's never a bad time to trade?
Yeah, like as much as I say I don't need to trade, like I could always just trade. Like I'm not open to trade. It's just I'm trying to find the right price. But what were you gonna say, Austin?
No, I just look at it like he's trying to trade these players. It's like, all right, you're gonna try and trade Miles Sanders. Like, what do you expect to get from Miles Sanders after he just put up 6 points? After he put up 50, he did well week 1, and he's a good player. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like, and then Amari Cooper put up 5 points, and now he's questionable, has an injury, potentially could put him out for this week. And it's like, and he might start. I saw Sterling Shepard in the starting lineup. So it's like, all right, you're benching Amari Cooper. I'm guessing he's benching him because of the injury. Yeah. And it's like, all right, you're going to try to trade this guy and you want top dollar for him. But like, bro, how much confidence do you have in the player? That's what going back to confidence. Like
he tries to buy high and sell low on guys where he like, a guy will go off and he'll never trade him. Like he's not going to trade him. Then the next week he does shit, looks terrible. He's like, all right, who wants him? Like, I'm going to treat him like he never had that performance, though, where it's like, dude, you can't expect somebody to want that player and treat him at the value you think they are when they just drop like 2 points and look like shit. It's like imagine if Aaron Jones drops 40 and then Chachi doesn't want to trade him and then he drops 3 and then Chachi expects him to like, oh, that 3 points didn't happen. Like, he's still the 40-point guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't expect people to keep the value the same, especially like it happening that close to when you get them.
Right, and you got to look at everything. You can't just look at it, just like from a bird's eye. You got to take everything into account, like why he dropped 3 points, or just like you can't really put too much stock into the 40 and then the 3 or whatever. Amari Cooper's 38 and then he had 5. Like it is kind of worrisome, but I mean. You can't put too much stock into each side.
Yeah, sometimes it's just like a bad matchup or some shit, or
right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like
you got to take everything into account.
Week 1, the Packers just played like shit. So like, you want Aaron Jones, you want Aaron Rodgers, like.
Yeah,
you just got to throw it out the window. You got to throw it out the window.
Yeah, right. Guilty by association.
Yeah. What were you saying, Daulton?
No, I was just saying, like, after week 1, the Packers didn't play good. Devontae drops 10, Thielen drops 30. I'm not going to go, all right, Thielen for Devontae straight up.
Exactly.
I'm saying, like,
exactly.
You got to wait till, like, moods change and shit, you know? When the draft is a few weeks away where, like, people's thoughts on this guy, they kind of give up, like, all right, he's not going to be the guy who I thought he was. Like, he did get drafted high, but this guy who got drafted round 13 is much better. Like, he's not the sexy name, but, like, fuck, he's doing way better every week.
Yeah, you got because it's still early too. So, like I said, take everything into account. It's like their draft capital, like their value, like where they stack up against the rest of their respective like field of, say it's a running back, a wide receiver, whatever, like where they rank and stuff. So, But yeah, I don't. I would like to know. I would like to hear Suge's opinion. Like, just nobody else talk. Just let Suge talk and see what his strategy is. Like when if he were to make a trade, like what it. Because I still have not. I've yet to figure Suge's out in terms of trading certain moves he does and stuff. But
I don't think I've ever seen him offer a trade and been like, yeah, that's like that makes sense with me. Like that's a smart, like good trade, you know? Like you offer that trade to somebody, like the other person's gonna accept it, you're gonna accept it, and both sides are happy. Like I felt like the best trade this year was
right face
crazy amount, but Andy and Chachi, the cousin
right.
D-Off, like that one, that's just a good trade, you know?
Like face value, Suggs' trades. It's always lopsided. It's never like obviously like if the week or two will go by and then it's like, oh, that was a like you can say, oh, that was a lopsided trade if somebody really goes off or whatever and you're like, oh, you got robbed. But like that's you didn't really get robbed. When the trade happens, you look at the trade and you break it down, you're like, all right, that's a pretty even trade. But when you look at the proposals and like hypothetical trades that that he's about to make or whatever in talks for, it's like, dude, this side is like, you know what I mean? It's
just clearly like, you show that to anybody and they can be like, yeah, whoa, who's getting these guys? Like they're about to be finesse. Like, yeah, what? Like somebody's gonna accept that? Like, and I feel like he's smart enough too. He'll get trades and he'll be like, nah, bro, you're bugging out. Like that's stupid. And like he knows like what a bad trade looks like, but like he can never see it from the other person's side.
Right. And if he gets a fair trade, he's just like, if it's a good trade, he'll just, I don't know, he always just second guess, like I don't know, he just.
Thing with Shugs too is it's never like a low key trade. It's always like a wild ass. Like he's sending 6 starters and getting back. Like he never does like a bench player for like a bench player. You know?
Yeah, it's like 4 players for 6 and like
2 for 1 or 2 for 2.
They're never gonna be in your starting lineup. Like you're 4 though. They're all like starters and a good guy off the bench.
He's quite the character in Linguica, let me tell you.
Yeah, I miss Sloan's trades though. Sloan used to do that all the time. Remember he used to just
Sloan
lineup like 2 guys.
Yeah. I made a few trades with Sloan last year. I feel like that was one person in the league, that one GM that I was like constantly, like every other week, he was like, yo, I want this guy. And like he's very like enthusiastic. If he's going after your guy, he's like really enthusiastic, or like he really like
underrated GM. I think he's
definitely.
I'm Sloan, for my playing this week. Like I've never beat him. His team always spazzes against me, bro. He never has like the sexiest team, but he always like puts together like a good team. Like
this year, he could be a sleeper this year. I really like his team.
Yeah, like we said, he was bound to bounce back. I mean, the team like that can only stay down for so long.
As long as he upgrades the tight end position, he should be good.
Yeah, he's in the same boat as me. I feel like same type of team.
For sure.
After 2 weeks, talking like summing up the trade thing, I just think after 2 weeks, like especially after this past week slate, I think it's just like a lot of stubbornness and like indecisiveness and just like I don't know, just hesitation, like from everybody, I guess. Like I was a little hesitant. Like we're talking about, I've been talking to Sloan. Like I don't know, everybody's just a little hesitant. Everybody's talking about trades. It's like, you're like like you kind of like guessing yourself, like overthinking it, or like
trades are just fun too. It's just fun.
Yeah.
And you get like 10 fucking. The trade is always just like clearly in your favor, bro. It just works out. Like all of our trades, like people don't want to make them because it's just so close. So it's like, I don't know, you never really want to fucking pull the trigger on it because it's not like, oh, word, I'm definitely going to win this trade.
Yeah, it's easier. It's a lot easier if somebody has somebody in a player in mind. Like if they have a certain player in mind that they want to go after, it's always easier to get the trade done. For both sides, if they vote, like if each side has somebody that they want in mind, then it never really comes to a halt. It's usually pretty easy to work out.
Usually it's pretty smooth, like when that happens. But what's like one of the last things you guys want to talk about? Because I gotta go pretty soon.
Marissa's kicking you out.
You want to do some predictions for this week?
I'll do some predictions.
All right. Let's
Week
do
3.
let's do first one, the Friendskins versus me and my young host, Bibby and Quinn.
That matchup looked kind of crazy this week.
Yeah,
on paper, yeah.
Let me pull it up. All right, we got. Dude, Kyler Murray is just stupid, bro. He's actually retarded. I think Kamara has a better week. Eckler probably does well. Eckler and Keenan, like, if you had a stack, like you guys said, that's a good one to have. But I don't know. Tyreek, I think, bounces back this week. Saquon is, I don't know. This is a tough matchup, bro.
Yeah. Every week, man, it's gonna be like this. I think every week. Bibby's team is just solid.
I think I'm gonna stay with the West. I'm gonna give it to Bibby. Like, his team is nice, bro. He should have had a win last week. He got a little gypped with. He probably would have DJ Moore, but Jarvis Landry kind of like. I saw why he like made that decision. He got fucked, but I think he would have lost either way. But
Yeah,
I'll go 40 on that one. I won't be surprised though if Quinn wins.
So. I think I'm actually gonna go Quinn. Honestly, I think Tyreek will go off. I think Saquon will bounce back. CD Lamb. I think I might go Quinn on this one. But it'll be a very close game. Very close game.
That might be the game.
I was gonna say Josh Allen's got to get that bounce back game, but I don't. Kyler Murray's got a really good matchup against Jacksonville.
That's the thing. That's crazy.
So I don't know. I'll give the edge to Bibby. I think Bibby's gonna pull it out.
A little bit of a homerism. We've got all the divisions.
Next game we got is the Trumpanians versus the Quasmanian Devils. Andy and Quas, the 2-0-2 teams.
Nah, this is the game of the week, bro. Losers 0-3, bro. They're both.
Let me ask you, Don. Who's under more pressure?
Oof, good question.
Well, they're both in the same division, so I say neither. But if there's somebody who like, I would say Quaz just because Andy's got decent value to work with. So even if he goes 0-3, like he'll get wins at some time, you know. But Eric at 0-2 with the team he's got, like you're playing Andy's team in not a great state, like you gotta get a win here because like when else are you gonna get wins, you know?
Right.
I feel that.
I say
given the start
on the pressure, but I mean still I look at the matchup like Andy might make a trade, so I know like what his team can be. But even what it is right now, I think I go Andy. Like I can see him go.
Given the circumstances, I agree. Like Quasi has to win now, and his team is not necessarily a win now or win later team. It's just like hey man, something's got to happen. Like, because you gotta gain an advantage somehow. So it's like I don't know when sooner or later, but yeah, I'd say Quasi's probably under more pressure. Because Andy has some like capital that he could work with, like Don said.
At the end of the day, you need wins just to get to the playoffs. You need that number. Like, I've never been crazy into like your record is how like it's definitely a good marker on how good your team is. But come playoff time, it doesn't matter what your fucking record is, bro. Like your team needs to put up points. So, but you have to get there first, obviously. Yeah, I think I go with Andy on that game for sure.
I'm gonna go with Andy as well.
Yeah, if Quasi had Deontay, bro, honestly, I'd probably give it to Quasi, but I think Andy's gonna end up winning.
Too, like
taking another injury like that too, and this week is crucial.
I want to see that happen.
See what?
I want to see him win. That'd be good. But that's the game of the week for me.
Next one we got is a big rivalry game, I'd say. Certified Linguica boy versus the 69ers. Goose and Chachi.
Oh, my gosh.
Some bad blood from last year.
Looking at it from history, I go with Austin just because Chachi's never beat him.
You do have his number, Goose.
Matchups are OD too, bro.
Whose matchups? Chachi's?
No, yours. Actually,
really?
Both of your guys. Well, Aaron Jones against the 49ers, like, I feel like the 49ers.
Yeah.
That's solid.
He's got Lamar against Detroit.
Yeah, that's
and DeAndre Hopkins against Jacksonville.
Yeah, Julio Jones against Indianapolis.
Damn, yeah, that could go.
This is another.
That could go either way.
Too, bro. God damn.
Are you worried? Are you worried about Mike Evans, Goose, going up against the Rams, Jalen Ramsey?
You always got. I mean, with Jalen Ramsey, you always got to be like a little worried about like, oh, maybe he'll be on him for a little bit. But I mean, you also got to worry about Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, and Gronk down the middle. So I mean, not too worried. I'm not. Maybe like everybody else is like, oh, Jalen Ramsey, but like I said, you got to worry about the other guys. So I don't think he's gonna shadow him like the whole game. I think they'll probably be switching off or stay on one side. That's usually what uh, the best cornerbacks do against a good team like Tampa Bay.
If you think of Darren Waller as like the matchup to Hopkins too, it's like as long as they go even to even, Kittle, if he's still like kind of sleepy, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you.
The thing with
whoa.
the thing with Waller, I was saying like to you, Don, like he's getting double teamed. Like I was saying to Quinn because he played Pittsburgh, he's getting like double teamed, like sometimes triple teamed if the safety comes down and the cornerback and the linebacker are right next to each other. So it's like it's tough to get him the targets
when you're watching.
What?
I said you got a feel for him when you're watching him. Like you're like, fuck, bro, he's so nasty. Yeah. Like it's hurting him.
Yeah. So I mean, unless if defense is gonna play that way, then it's like they're gonna suffer like the Steelers did and just let up bombs to Henry Ruggs or let Hunter Renfrow and Edwards eat. But if not, I think Waller will have another big performance like he did, especially if Carr is healthy. That's the biggest thing. Is Carr's got to stay healthy. But yeah, I think this one will come down like to the flex again, like I said, with my matchup last week.
Yeah. Who's your flex gonna be? You don't know yet?
I'm not too sure yet. I'm probably gonna end up playing Claypool because Deontay's out. Yeah, as my wide receiver too. And flex, Kenny Galladay's matchup's very enticing. Against Atlanta, he always grubs against the Falcons, and I think they'll change up the offense a little bit and feed him a little bit more. He had 8 targets last week, which was just encouraging. But yeah, either Kenny G, Kareem Hunt, Tyler Boyd, one of those guys.
I think I'm gonna go with Goose in this one.
It's gonna be there's a lot of tough games to predict.
Yeah. I mean, Chachi's team's solid now. Like, we were talking shit about Chachi's team. Like,
his team is good.
He made a ton of trades, and now his team's.
He got that thing though that I was saying. Like his starting lineup now is like solid. Like it's good, but like his depth outside of Sutton, like I guess Pittman Jr.'s decent, but
yeah, Pittman needs
I think he's going for more depth trades at this point, but he's got a good lineup.
Then penultimate game will be CMC for the win versus Portugal's team. Shigs and myself.
Well, is this the official Gas Bars game of the week?
It might be.
I think I'm gonna have to give this one the title for Gas Bars game of the week.
Finals rematch from last year, so a lot of bad blood.
Hell yeah.
Reed heard the first podcast, so he had this one circled for a while. And
this is a Sunday night. This is the big premiere matchup.
Most definitely.
I mean, neither of you have your lineup set,
that's what I'm
so
saying.
It's kind of tough to
set that shit up. So I can't. My head.
Well, you know, C-Mac's playing, that's for sure.
Yeah, from what I remember, like, I don't know, Sugar's team, like, is just crazy. His starting lineup is insane, bro. It's fucking stupid. But, dude, Hawkinson is playing Baltimore, like, he might get 25. Ridley, like, has been solid, but, like, I feel like he can get 25 this week against the Giants. Devontae, like, I don't know, Marty. Your team could also spaz, but I think I'm gonna go with Sugar on this one. Sadly, I think you lose the undefeated title.
All right.
I'm gonna be the contrarian. I think I see Mata pulling this one out. Tough matchup for Brady. I'm not sure how that one will stack up. Honestly, now that I'm looking at it, but. I don't know. I just have a gut feeling that Mata will pull out the win. Although
Mata win because Sugar goes 1-2, that's hilarious, and also the fact like Mata's undefeated. If I can win, then like we both have that matchup, that'd be fire.
I'd love to set up that game, man.
Shugs has really good matchups, so.
Then
cools off.
Before we get you out of here, Daulton, let's talk about your matchup against Team Slow Balls.
This was another potential gas bars game of the week, but
you saw what he did last week. How you feeling?
I mean, I'm 0-4 against Sloan all time. Never beat him. His team always fucking does well. We always have like close games, but I don't know. I think I still win, bro. I love my team, bro. Like I love like the setup I got. I want to make it better though. There's a trade I'm trying to make with Andy before this week. Hopefully that gets done, and then I think my team's just stupid. But even my team right now, I got good matchups like DK against Minnesota, Thielen against Seattle. Like I'm hoping they both get 20. Like Mike Williams is been grubbing. Like he's playing KC. That's a good matchup. My defense has a decent matchup. Dak though, like Dak's probably my biggest. After last week, that's gonna be. I need him to like bounce back heavy. It's gonna be huge.
But, I could see this game coming down to how Aaron Rodgers does in San Francisco. It's obviously a tough game for him. I feel like you got some decent matchups. Derrick Henry, Indy's a good defense, but I think Derrick Henry can still put up some good points. Yeah, the Browns against Chicago, Justin Fields' first start. You're looking to bank in on that. I think your matchups are solid. Suggs maybe got a couple sketchy ones, but
Sloan.
Buffalo Spaz is on Washington.
Sloan.
Sloan can lose points.
Yeah, Sloan, sorry.
Yeah. This is a brutal one.
This is the closest one to me. Like Sloan's team is nice, bro. Diggs has been a little quiet. Like, I mean, 16 points, 15. That's not quiet, but
yeah, the projections are very tight too. 126, 124.
Me, if DK finally outscores Lockett, I think I win.
Yeah, and I think honestly, too. Tyson Williams, they're playing the Lions. Like, they're gonna run the ball the whole fucking game. They're just gonna run it down their throat. So, I mean, even if they split carries, like he'll get a workload. So, yeah, I think it's all pretty even. Man, I think Terry comes back down to life a little bit, down to earth. I'll give the edge to Don. Chalk up a dub for Don.
Yeah, I think I might say Daulton as well.
I need Logan Thomas to steal from Terry too.
Yeah.
Right.
That's interesting. You guys got like same teams, different players.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's gonna be a close fucking game, bro. I'm gonna be sweating on Sunday, but hopefully I can do well. We'll see.
Well, Daulton, I'll tell you what, it's been a pleasure.
I had a blast. This was fire.
Hopefully we'll get you on at the end of the season. Hopefully, like me, you'll still be undefeated.
Yeah. No, not gonna happen. We'll play each other next week.
That's right.
I thought you said be undefeated.
Maybe one loss. Maybe one loss.
Yeah, one loss. Let's both be at the top of the table.
Yeah. We are right now. Let's keep it at that.
Yeah.
Bowl, we got the Mean Bowl next week. Come on.
Yeah, Mean Bowl's always great. Always great.
Dude, when we play each other, bro, it's always 150, 160, 160, 170. Like it's.
Yeah, always crazy matchup. So.
I don't see it changing either, bro. Like our teams are gonna just keep putting up. No,
yeah, we got to keep putting up the show for the fans. So.
We got it. Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys. I gotta go. I gotta go get food, but this was good. Hopefully, our predictions come out well, and maybe stop
to fruition. Maybe start betting on Linguica.
Set the spread and shit.
Oh shit!
You're fine. Like,
man, you might have started something.
15.5. Like, yo.
I know Suggs was
Quasi plus 300 money line.
Yeah.
I know Suggs was saying something about starting a book.
Yeah. Oh, Linguica book. Suggs got it, bro.
Linguica book.
Def got DK over 16 points this week.
No, bro. I hope. I need that. It's been too quiet. I need like 11 receptions from DK, 2 touchdowns, bro. 107.
It's one of those DK monster games.
Yeah, bro. Like
40 up.
Points. I need that. Tyler Lockett has been pissing me the fuck off.
There'll definitely be a lot of points versus the Vikings, but we'll see who it goes to.
A couple of taunting calls. If DK gets like 2 or 3 taunting calls, you know he had a fucking solid game.
Oh yeah.
When he's just standing over people, like yeah, you'll be in good. You'll be in good hands.
You must fuck with the daunting calls too, because like brings you back 15 yards, another 15-yard bomb, boom.
Well, does it count?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you gain 15 yards, no matter how you lost it.
Yeah, it's not like a holding penalty where it negates the play, right?
Yeah,
It's like a unsports. Well,
yeah, it don't negate
I
the
don't
play.
know.
It don't negate the
No.
play. So.
All right, I'll catch you guys.
All right, later, Daulton. Thank you, bro.
Later, homies.
Peace.
Another one in the books, Goose.
Yes, sir.
Back again next week.
Always fun.
Oh no Bibby's bets this week. So you want to give us one on his behalf?
Yeah, I'll look real quick.
Yeah, give me a lock this week, Goose. I need something.
A lock. I haven't looked at player props, but if I were to give a lock, I'd probably give. What's it? San Fran's the favorite against the Packers, 3.5. I could see the Packers covering. I could see them. I could see them.
Wouldn't mind that.
If I had to give my most confident one, it'd probably be Cardinals to cover the spread, 7.5 points. It's a lot of points, but I think they'll fucking thrash the Jaguars.
Yeah, they'll
probably be my lock of the week.
Yeah, they'll probably blow them out, honestly.
Minus 105. Pretty good odds, like if you were to bet on a spread. So I'd probably go with that. That's a lock of the week.
All right,
we gotta get Bibby to call in next time. I know he's busy making trades right now.
Yeah, we'll see what he cooks up. He's always cooking something up, Bibby.
It's lighting a fucking dab up or something.
That was a good podcast we had last week. Just like this week. I had a lot of fun this week.
Yeah, I noticed that it's more conversational. It's getting we're getting more in depth.
Yeah, we're getting our groove. We're getting our groove.
Yeah, it's more free flowing, I'll say.
Yeah, definitely.
So I hope everybody else enjoys it.
All right, Goose. Signing off. See you next week, Chief.
Good luck.